You're right next to me, dude.
I'm here again.
So you know what fucking time it is. It's interview time. Jeremiah's here.
What's up, y'all?
Jeremiah, now at this point, we know you as kettlebell guru, advice giving guru, musician. No, dude, this is 2022. If you got to check your phone, Adam Schefter style, you check it.
Tell me I gotta go pick up my kid.
They do it on the news desks now, bro.
My bad. I was like, turn that fucking alarm off, and then I didn't.
but it's
the kids dig it,
the
dude.
future. It's the future.
Right. 7 seconds or less.
That's right. 7 seconds, and we're already past it. So you're doing all these different things. What exactly are you in? First, let's just get that out of the way. Let's get down to the things that you're involved in right now, because I know you're doing some new things since the last time we talked.
Absolutely. Well, still Iron Revival. We released our app, Bells by Iron Revival. It's for the Apples out there. Not on Android yet, but stay tuned, I guess, is what I've just been saying. Turns out it's a big old process. But it helps you with your kettlebell training, helps you get stronger, faster, and probably even smarter.
Probably.
And we got our YouTube channel, Iron Revival. You can find it all. You know how to find all that stuff on Instagram, the Iron Revival, all that stuff. But we run our live classes, all those things. I've been a year under with my podcast now. So we're at 260 some odd episodes of long play, which is pretty solid. If you're a fan of music, there's a bit of a music tie into it, but it's about personal development and just generally doing things to help you be your best and stop fussing around with lackluster. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like we all got these things, dude. We all got these nagging things. I like to call it, I help rebels find their cause. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay. So it's like a place where you can get straight shooting advice, and believe it or not, totally, it's 5 minutes or less. I know that's all anybody's got time for anyways.
That's the
you know
future.
what I'm saying? Yeah. But it's long play, and it's called long play. It's on every single podcast thing ever. And it's short, it's quick, it's lovely. There's song lyrics. Sometimes I do a poem because I'm sensitive like that.
I like
sometimes I call you on your shit.
Well, you're an artist.
Yeah, I am. It goes way back.
The art and the workout come together.
That's true. I figured the way it would work is I can't train everybody, nor do I want to train everybody personally. But if you download my app and do the workouts that I program in that app with a kettlebell and listen to and subscribe to my podcast, essentially you're working with me, because I would just tell you that stuff in the training session anyways.
Plus,
and it's all free.
No one wants to go get sweaty around other people because you'll get monkeypox, COVID.
Oh, okay. Monkeypox 19. It's just a real thing. It's happening.
Seriously, how'd you get monkeypox? Oh, I borrowed someone's shirt. Like it's the shittiest. It's the shittiest. Like you don't even get to earn it. It's gonna be an accident. So this way, you get the full experience without actually having to leave your home.
Yeah, exactly. It's right there. It's for you. And look, if you aren't sure on what to do, check out our video.
Yeah.
We'll tell you everything, and that's pretty much it. I'm in the process.
We're great.
Yeah. Thank you. And I'm also in the process of writing a companion book to the podcast itself. I would say, pretty soon. You know what I mean? It's pretty far along, but I just want to put that bug out there. You put it out there, it'll come back to you.
Oh yeah.
So they say.
Sure.
But so I'm hitting that. It's basically a book about systematic process and steps you can take, sort of a choose your own adventure to an extent, where you can build habits that are positive and rate yourself so you know when it's cool to move on, or you stay there and you get it done. And then there's supportive aspects towards it. So generally speaking, it's for people like us to do better and be better. People with tattoos.
That's right.
We're not suit and ties.
Everybody thinks just because you have tattoos and you like rock and roll and shit that you're a hard ass. But that may be true.
Yeah.
However, you also can suffer with mental illness because it's not like an arm breaks differently on anyone. Same with the brain. If you're not feeling right, you're not feeling right. It doesn't matter if you're a tough guy or not.
That's right. I didn't get this neck tap for nothing.
That's right. You know what I mean? It makes me want to listen to your advice more, to tell you the truth.
Hey, you should. It comes out every day, Monday through Friday, 5 minutes or less.
Because I'm like, see, this guy, he gets it. He's got the tats. He's lived the life. He understands. And now he's telling me through these years of experience on this fucking planet, the ups and downs. I need this.
You know what? And I know you guys deal with a lot of musicians and, up and coming bands and these sorts of things. And something that really dawned on me when I'm doing these podcasts and I'm writing these things and I think about this stuff, I think, damn, when I was like in the early 2000s in Huntington Beach, in my mid 20s, and like things are really popping off. We're playing all over. We're doing the thing, all the Hollywoods, all the House of Blues and all these things and doing things we probably shouldn't be doing. I really wish I would have had a moment where I could like lean on something to tell me like, hey, it's cool that you do that. However, you actually get a lot farther if you maybe do a little more of this. I'm not saying you got to be a square or nothing or whatever, I mean, that's on you. But there is like, instead of prioritizing 12 packs at practice, maybe I prioritized 8 tracks. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
We get a little more recording, get a little bit more in tune to some of the business aspects of music and trying to like find where I fit and these sort of things. And I did do those things, but they were a secondary to the party aspect. So I'm like, man, if I would have had a little bit more clarity in my mind back then, who knows what could have been? I mean, it was still good. I still had a great ride.
Absolutely. But the thing is, back then, even in the early 2000s, it just wasn't talked about at this level to be able to share. For us to sit here looking at like ourselves all tattooed up and what fucking have you, like to be having this conversation was not common, if at all, ever.
No, there was only MySpace, and all you cared about was that top song and those 8 people that meant the most to you. And I really tried to make it all the same one person. You know, but it didn't work out that way.
And then occasionally be like, oh, Tom's getting married. Like that. Like, oh, Joe's getting married. Oh, all right. That's how you saw their little wedding thing. Like,
okay, here we go. Okay. I'll be like, check out my new song. Tupac's still alive. Spotted here. Click on this link.
When Tupac was still alive, the world was such a nicer place.
Seemed like it.
When Biggie and Tupac were here, it was just a better world.
Simpler times, man. Simpler times.
It was, All right. So, all right, Biggie, we're talking about the little Biggie. This is my segue into this.
Okay.
So I only go vinyl, tape, CD. However, you could throw an 8-track in if you wanted to, or anything else. What are those little? They had the little mini discs or the single. Any of that applies. But what was the first album with your money that you paid with your money?
Okay, my money. Well, stolen or paid for?
No, stolen totally counts.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, that you got with yourself.
So it's hard to dig back. I do have a couple of things that stand out. The one that stands out the most for like CD I bought. I'm sure there was tapes. It's just so hard to remember so many tapes.
I know.
But I can remember a CD because I just wanted it so badly, and the title of it was so intriguing, and it was rebellious. Although when I say this, you may be like, that's not very rebellious, but the title was very. So I was growing up, I was a huge fan of Van Halen. Yeah. And they came out with that album, For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge. All right,
bro.
Yeah. And I was like, whatever. It's like 10 or 11-year-old me. I'm like, I gotta have that one. And I go get it. My mom takes me. It's all good, But I do remember like the MC Hammer tape. I did buy that with my own money.
Oh yeah. What was it? Please Hammer Don't Hurt Him.
Please Don't Hurt Him. Yeah, you can't touch this.
Yeah. Classic. Absolutely.
It's classic. Oh, it almost holds up still. But I do have an interesting first tape. I didn't buy this tape, but it was given to me. My mom remarried in like 1987 or 88 or something like that. And so we upended our life from the middle of Nebraska to the big city and then a small town right outside the big city. And for Christmas, I got the tape Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction, obviously is a classic. But the one was Whitesnake, their 1987 self-titled album, right?
That's
all right. Do you remember that one? It's got all the hits. And I'm like, as I've come along and I've gone along, I decided that, I want to start collecting vinyl again. It's been a few years and I got, vinyl. And the cool thing about vinyl is you get the hunt, right? You get the hunt. you see a record like, oh, I need this one. Oh, this reminds me of my childhood, blah, blah, blah. Well, I'd gotten all these ones that I really wanted, and things are coming together, full collections of Led Zeppelin, full collections of, nearly all the Beatles, stuff like that. And you start to think, oh, which one do I need? And I needed that Whitesnake one. So I needed that Whitesnake album. And it's, sure, you can go on the internet and find them. You can find them and you might pay a pretty penny.
Oh, yeah.
Or you could allow it to come to you in however it can.
That's the fun part.
Yeah. So I start looking for this vinyl, and I check everywhere. I'll go to stores. We were just in New York a couple of weeks ago in Brooklyn. So I swing into a couple record shops, and I don't always want to spend all the time just digging through everything. So I just go right to the section. I want Van Halen for Unlawful Carnal Knowledge and that Whitesnake album. And I look in those two, nothing. It's coming up nothing for a good part of a year, maybe even a little more now. And then we end up, one of my wife's friends, they have a house in upstate New York at the Catskill, right? And I said, what? Catskill? What are they going to kill? Apparently that's a river, right? That's what the Dutch call rivers. They call them kills. For all you
little knowledge. I love it.
Yes, that's right. What do they call that? A trivia knowledge.
I did not know that.
Yeah, fact check me. So we're up there in the small town. I mean, like small town. And we go into this antique store, and we're just like, we're just getting out of the heat, walking air conditioning, just checking stuff out. And the lady goes, oh, we have a basement. It's right by that traffic light. And they had like a traffic light, all that good stuff. And my son's walking. We go down there, couple steps, turn the corner. And what is it? There's records. And there's only one record on display. And it's Whitesnake from 1987.
No way.
I was like, holy crap. In the middle of nowhere, New York, is this album I've been searching for. Pull it out. It's like some UK import with like a USA remix of the hits, and it was like, it wasn't cheap. It was like $50, but I was like, I didn't care. I was like, I got to have this. It's like, why would it be here in this basement in New York? So random.
Because you wanted it.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I checked it off though.
Manifested it, bro.
Man, okay, yes, the secret.
Yeah, you did. So, you thought about it enough that made that person put that out.
Yeah, I mean, like, and there was no other good records. You know what I mean? It was just like whatever. It was like, how it gets garage sale type records. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I didn't need a look. I grabbed it. I like took a quick glance around the rest of the basement and headed upstairs and was like, how much? Okay, let's do this. I
walk over to Atomic Records all the time and find that place is great. It's right a couple blocks away from us. Like it's on Magnolia. It's just little record store, but they have so much shit.
Okay, yeah, I gotta check that out.
It's close too. It's really seriously it's like not even a mile away from where I live. So you're close to it. So you could just go head over there. It's fun, man. It's a good record store. That one was because I used to go to Amoeba all the time.
Yeah.
And then I moved to the, in the Valley, and I was like, where's a good record store around here? And a lot of them closed down, but Atomic Records is still there, and it's really good.
That's good. I got to check it out. Yeah, we live near Freak Beats, and it's all right. You know what I mean? Like, they got some good tunes, so.
Have you been to Atomic?
I've been to Atomic, yeah.
It's got more classic records, I think. Yeah, like, it's got a lot of old shit.
Yeah, that's right.
Freak Beats. Well, that's when they made records. Yeah. That's when they made records for the old shit.
Right. Yeah. So that would explain it. That would explain the mystery. So, all right. So now let's do a little, still doing the rock and roll thing.
I know. I love
it.
This. Even as a married man, is cat out of the bag on that,
Yeah. He just, he's still going. So I love he's still going as a married man. Nothing stops.
Okay. That's good. Don't stop. This train can't. The rock and roll train can't.
Lead singer, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are some things that he could do to get in shape for tours and what have you? Because we talk about this a lot. You're always like, I'm doing this, this, and this.
I have pretty terrible conditioning. I played at a 90-degree venue. It was an outdoor venue, right?
Yeah.
And it was like about a week ago. I blew up in like 5 minutes. Blew up.
You're like, cut. There's one song.
Yeah, literally. It was so hot. I was gross. I'm like, what's going on here? All
right. So I ask this always. What do you like to do? Is there anything you like to do? as far as exercise goes?
Like cardio or weights?
Well, it's a little bit of both, right?
Okay.
Kettlebells does it all.
Yeah,
so
hike and run.
Okay,
like
good.
Outside stuff more?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll preface this by saying a kettlebell will get you everything you need, strength, endurance, all that stuff. So, you come and see me whenever you're ready, bro. I got you. Got the garage gym all set up.
The first thing to get is like 130 pounder.
That's probably good. Yeah. A
That's
16 kilo, 16 kilos, like 35 pounds. But I will tell you this, if you like to hike and you like to run, one of the greatest training modalities is running, in my opinion. And I wasn't always a runner. I was training for a snatch test, which is 100 hardstyle kettlebell snatches in 5 minutes. It's pretty challenging, with a certain weight, like 53 pounds. And so it's pretty gnarly, and it can be done. I've done it numerous times. But I've also failed it a couple times. And so I was like, I don't want to fail this. So I was training twice a day. And I started, one of my trainings would be kettlebell, and one would be just like walking. And then walking wasn't enough. So it became jogging, it became running. Then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I like running. Running is good. So I think amongst a mix of strength training with something like the kettlebells or whatever, honestly, like if you like the gym and do it like throw down, hit the Brodeo style, that's cool too. You know what I mean? Be smart about it. If you're going to train strength, train it in a strength manner, which is usually like a little higher weights, lower reps sort of thing. Give yourself plenty of rest. But if you want to train endurance, beat the street, get your feet out there, start slow, walk. This is really good advice when I started getting into running, is walk for 5 minutes, run for 5 minutes, or maybe it's 5 minutes, 1 minute. 5 minutes walking, 1 minute running. Find where you're at, but mix it, right? Just a little walk, little run, little walk, little run. Don't worry about the distance. Don't just do what you have time for, and just don't think of like, I've got to set a pace. I've got to be at X amount of pace. Just think, I'm doing this so that next time, and I just basically shrunk the numbers. If it was 5 and 5, then I went 6 running, 4 walking, 7 running, 3 walking, 8 running, 2 walking, 10 running. And now it's just running. And then at that point, when you're starting to run, now you can mix up your pace. You can do a jog type thing. And there's all kinds of like heart rate level stuff. But look, that's going deep. And I am training for a half marathon right now. And what I do? Yeah. So you know what I do is I follow the running plan. And I just got this running plan from like Runner's World or whatever. And the best advice I can give anybody is get a plan and stick to it and just finish it. Don't think like, so the other day I had to run 5 miles, but it was like, I feel great. I can run 6 or 7. I stopped at 5 because that's what the plan calls for. Because the goal isn't how much you can throw out at today. The goal is the long-term goal. So you want to rock on stage. You don't want to be huffing and puffing, especially if you're singing. Because look, the first thing that's going to go if you're tired is your ability to project. Your voice is going to sound like crap, and it's going to be hard. So get your kettlebell swings in, do those sorts of things. But if you're running, you're hiking, run and hike. So take it as a slow day, a medium day, maybe interval days higher as you get further along. You know what I mean? There's plenty of like variations to do, but you should do a variety, whether you're strength training or you're cardio training. Is it a high intensity, a medium intensity, a low intensity? You got to mix it up. Give yourself rest in between. Look, I think a lot of people look at these celebrities and these athletes and are like, oh, the 6-week shred or this, whatever. And they're like, yeah, I can do that. And I'm like, no, you can't. Trust me. You can't do that. That's not your life. You don't have a chef. You aren't that 1% that does that. And it's good to admire that. And it's good to strive for that, but be realistic. Do things that you can do that you can for sure do. So, Matt, what I would say is like, if you're going to start, let's say you start tomorrow. So tomorrow is your 5-minute jog, 5-minute walk. Repeat that for as long as you can. Think about whatever it is. Get some good shoes. As sad as it is, I like to wear the $50 Vans most of the time, but you are going to have to shell out like $130 for a good pair of running shoes. Because
they last too. They really do. It sucks to spend the money, but I always buy expensive gym shoes and I end up wearing them for years.
Yeah.
Because I only wear them to the gym. That's it.
Yeah. Trainers. They're your trainers. You wear them for your training.
Exactly.
as tempted as you are to wear your neon colored Asics out to the metal show, I recommend that maybe you get those Chuck Taylors instead for that. But you can do whatever you want. It's your gig. But yeah, get some good shoes, pace it, build it up, get more. I found benefit from, using like guided runs and stuff like that as well. I find some benefit in that, like we have a Peloton, so we got the Peloton app, whatever, and they have like an outdoor running thing. And I found like, the music isn't everything I want to run to all the time, but I'm looking for, they'll give you form tips. You start to think about this sort of thing. You're like, oh, okay, cool. And I'm sure there's like a million Spotify things where you can find somebody doing guided running, a Nike Run Club or whatever, but that's where I would start. That's where I start getting shape. If you're running, if you like running, and do your hikes on your off days. Look, I'm going to say something that might blow everybody's mind, and you could take it or leave it, but you should be physically active 7 days a week.
Yeah.
That's it. 7 days a week. If you're sick, maybe you don't. Maybe you just go for a walk. But like, seriously, you can do it. We as humans, we used to have to go hunt our food and gather our berries and shit. And now we're like DoorDash and Netflix.
Right.
Get off your ass and go do at least a half hour worth of something. You know what I mean?
Anything. Yeah.
And look, if you don't even have the time, think about this. If you learn the skill of kettlebells, if you learn something like a kettlebell swing and a kettlebell press and a get up and just the bare minimum stuff like that, and squat, and like you just do the bare minimum, like essentially, you could take and download our app for $10, get us a whole program. It's a 16-week program for 3 times a week. It'll take you through the whole thing. It'll build you up, teach you how to swing. You do that. You learn that thing. That could be enough. You could do a 15-minute swing workout, and you will definitely balance out your running, right? Because I've been on stage a crap ton, and what happens the first thing you step on stage? Adrenaline is fucking going. That's why you gas out right away, because you're like, oh, it's on. And then you're like, holy shit, we have 40 minutes left? Okay. You're like trying to take shots in between just because you're like, hey, what can I do? But
have a smoke, like anything. All awful ideas, but they work.
You're like, stall. You're like, let me hear it about, let's give it a little bit to the drummer, and you're like, okay, you get a solo in there.
Can I get a rum and coke up here?
Yeah. But yeah, you vary the intensity on that stuff. You hit those kettlebells, you do some running, some cycling, some swimming, some hiking, whatever you like. Outdoors is gold. You know what I mean? Anything you do outdoors. And you can take kettlebells anywhere. You can do them outdoors. I'm a cheeky kettlebell salesman just because I believe it. You know what I mean?
You do, yeah. Well, you preach it and you practice it, so it's okay.
Yeah, look, I don't know, look, whether you're somebody looking to get more performance on their stage, somebody who's looking to have more performance in the hay, somebody who's got kids, all these things, nothing will get you more prepared for life than understanding and learning the skills of kettlebell. I like to say, okay, so yoga is like they have that yin and yang philosophy, that yin and yang. Yeah. Kettlebells is the yang to the yin of yoga. It's a skill. It's a practice. Sure. It's a meditation. It's something that's for real. It's like the martial arts of weightlifting. Nice. So essentially, you can really develop, and that stuff carries over. A consistent practice, developing a skill. When you get the swing and you have somebody who's fired up about you getting that, and you get it and you feel great, and you all of a sudden you can do 100 swings in 5 minutes, what do you think that's going to happen? That's going to carry over to your regular life. Sure. And all of a sudden you're like, I'm going to go for that. I'm going for that really high Iron Maiden notes. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be on fire. You can cut that out if it really annoys somebody. But but you can, now you're like, I'm gonna try something new because I'm empowered by this sort of thing.
Sure.
It's better, in my opinion, and I've done the regular gym routine. I've worked in big box gyms, I've bench press, I still bench press. But I also know that coming back to like barbell work and stuff like that after spending time with a kettlebell, I'm already stronger. It's like this freak strength. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You move better. You feel better.
You're working everything. You're working
better.
every part of everything when you're doing it. So like, it's because I have a couple kettlebells and I use them. I actually just asked you for leg workouts.
Yeah.
So like I use them all the time, and I can tell that on other things I've gotten much stronger by just using them, because the movements are so controlled that you're using so many different parts of the muscle when you're working it. I'm thinking of my shoulders, but
Sure.
it works with everything. It's different than the isolation of like a barbell or a dumbbell or something like that. There's just more to it. It does have a primal feel to it.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's a cannonball with a handle, and it's a tension and relaxation. It's a tension and relaxation thing. You have to be tense to do these things, and then you relax, and you tense and relax. So, real life out there is tension and relaxation, right?
That's right. So another thing that I want to get to before we go. Rock and roll lifestyle, punk rock, all that shit, moving and grooving. Do you have any nutrition advice that would be easily applicable to the rock and roll lifestyle?
Hell yes. All right, check it out. Yeah. I mean, I'll start with this. This is the no-brainer. The more whole foods or stuff without a box that is minimally processed you can eat is the best. But what seems to be working, and there's sort of this thing, and it gets a little tricky for rock and rollers or night owls and stuff like that. Know this, and I've been there, played the clubs, guzzled the brews, done these things. You're likely to make a bad decision.
I was there for some of it.
Yeah, I know. You saw shirtless and all. You might make a bad decision as far as your eating. So plan ahead, have the food that you want at your house. There's plenty of healthy ways to make, you can make a burrito at your house. All you have to do is weekly plan.
Right.
Just plan. Quit skipping out on this. It takes 20 minutes to plan. It takes maybe, depending if you got a family, it takes a little longer, but 30 minutes, 40 minutes to shop. So that's an hour of your life, and you're set for the week. You come home from a gig, you partied. One, you're not rolling through Taco Bell and you're getting, gassed up, and your bubble gut's going to be on fire after that.
Yeah.
But you go home and you're like, oh, I already have the tortilla. I have cheese. I have this.
Dude, I'm making a quesadilla.
Or you know what I'm saying? And then you just make it all up and boom, you're done. It takes less than 2 minutes to scramble eggs, just FYI, all y'all out there. So there's no reason to go straight for that bagel at Starbucks when you can scramble up some eggs at your house. 4, 5, 6 eggs, scramble them up, eat them up. You know what I mean? And you're going to be all right. The second last thing that I would say is, and this is why I said it's hard if you're a night person, if you think about this, but you're not playing a show every night all the time.
Right.
Maybe you are, but let's say you're not. Let's just say you're up and coming band, so you still got some home life. You still got these things going on. I want you to think about when you start eating and when you stop eating. Okay. So in your general, and this will apply for everybody. So if I go to bed at 10 o'clock, you know what I mean? And that's me. It's 10:30, but I'll 10 o'clock, right?
Yeah. I don't go to bed much later than that, man. Unless I'm
out, we got to get up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 10 o'clock. So that means after 8, I'm not eating. No eat after 8. If you give yourself 2 to 3 hours before you go to bed, you stop eating, it allows your body to actually start the digestion process. And then ultimately, when you allow that to happen, the food becomes the fuel that it's supposed to be and goes where it needs to go. Now, if you stopped eating or you binge and you go hit that late night food and you go right to bed after or pass out, you're going to start the factory back up in a sense. So now instead of digesting the food, it wants to use the food. Well, you're not moving, so it's not going to use it. So what's it going to do? It's going to put it right in your belly. It's going to create fat. It's going to create fat for you. And now you're going to be fatter than you were. All right. I'm not saying anybody's fat, but I'm just saying
no, you're saying, that's
you can't use the
end
energy.
Result by eating that late is you're going to get some chubs on you.
Yeah. And so here's a couple of simple things you can do. When you look at that window, whether it's 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock, you can go a 12-hour window where you eat between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. That's 12 hours. You want to lose a little bit of weight, maybe make it 10 hours. So now you're 10 a.m. and 8 p.m. You want to go a little hard. You got a show coming up. You got a photo shoot. You want to have those chiseled abs for that album cover. You know what I'm saying? You can't just stand in front of a brick wall anymore. You got to have abs too.
You got to look like something.
So now you cut it to 8 hours. So now we're at noon to 8. You know what I'm saying? That's your eating window. It's called time restricted eating. Some people will call it, the buzzword is intermittent fasting, but the reality is based on our circadian rhythm, which is what essentially dictates your moods, your health, and your well-being. You call it time restricted eating. So you eat within those windows based on what you want to do. And that means if you have coffee, you should wait as long as possible. But if you do have to have it at first thing, you don't. But if you do feel like you need to, don't put any cream in that. Just have it black. You know what I mean? You really should wait like 90 minutes before you have coffee anyway from when you wake up. Because coffee suppresses the hormones that want to put you to sleep. Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so if you wait, you allow your body to naturally get past that. You're waking up, you're groggy because you just woke up. Let that phase pass. Drink some water and then have some coffee. You'll be better off.
I really
you don't need
that.
it.
I'm going to start doing that tomorrow.
Yeah, you don't need it. So if you wake up at 7:00, chug a glass of water. You know, one of the things I talk about in my book and on my podcast is first things first habits. The first things first. You can control your whole day if you handle the habit first things first, like not pressing snooze. Now you're in control. Having a glass of water first thing. You don't have to do all these, but pick one. Having a glass of water first thing. Now you're in control. It was your choice. You started the day on your foot. You're rolling. One of these are healthy. You know, those are just a couple, but you can tune in and hear more and all that good stuff. But like, I always give people a choice when they start, you know, working with me, you start, you know, following the program is what's the first things first? Because you can build that habit. First things first gives you the power. So drink that water first things first, Tully, and then just let it be. Just watch what happens. I'm
starting it tomorrow because I've been having the thoughts about the coffee. So the fact that you're saying, we were just talking about it this morning. So like that's something I'm going to start doing. Before we go, tell everybody where they can find all of your awesomeness so they can get more awesome advice like they just got right now.
Okay, cool. I appreciate it. Thanks guys for bringing me on for sure. I want to say that
every time, brother.
It's so cool. I love it. So if you want to get the kettlebell stuff, it's on Instagram. It's at The Iron Revival. Okay. Our website is theironrevival.com. We got some t-shirts, we got programs, all that stuff. You can download our app from the Apple App Store by searching Bells, as in kettlebells, Bells by Iron Revival. All right. That'll get you all that. And if you want to hit me up for some of the personal development stuff, check out my podcast, Long Play, on all podcasting sites everywhere, Monday through Friday. You'll wake up, whether you're on the West Coast or the East Coast, it'll be there when you wake up without fail. And you can get at me, Jeremiah _Waylon on Instagram. I post some stuff up there, and occasionally, that's about it.
Stuff.
Yo, just life. Like let's be better. It's our choice, right? You know what I mean? Like the times have passed. The time for the chaos has passed. The time for the reflection has passed. Now it's the time for the action. Time for some action.
Go time, brother.
That's right. Quit waiting, y'all. Get active.
That's right. Thanks for calling in, my man. And we will talk to you soon. Like, you know, next time. Soon.
Yeah, I'm around. Will. I appreciate it. Now, serious, Matt. You got to get those kettlebells. You both come. You both come and do some kettlebells with me.
Yeah, I'm down. We got to, and we'll record it and post it on YouTube.
Let's do it. You guys
Later,
know what's
my man.
Up. All right. Peace, guys.
Later, bud.
Bye.